Hi Aquarius, welcome to your August 2022 astrological forecast. So, the sun is still in Leo, your opposite sign. Okay, where you have Leo in your chart is your 7th house. It's directly across from your first house of Aquarius. So, usually this time of year I would have to say something like, every zodiac sign has a low point of the year and a high point of the year. And the low point is when planets are in your opposite sign, and the high point is when planets are in your own sign, okay? But there's nothing really going on all that, like, upsetting or whatever. Now that this being the so-called low point of the year for you with the sun in Leo, okay, up until the 22nd, and Venus moving into Leo on the 11th and will be there all month. Okay, so that's really all you have going here right now is the Sun and Venus, both in your 7th house of close relationships and partnerships. Okay, this is romantic, business, close friend. This is also the house of open enemies and competition of any kind. But this is mainly like arrangements or contracts, verbal agreements even, or a handshake deal, whatever, that you make with someone, okay? So it just means that this is like where your focal point is right now. So, if you're involved with someone right now romantically, it'll get even better from the 11th on, up until that point, there's still nothing really going on here that's going to bother you too much. There's a full moon in your sign on the 11th, okay? And if anything were going on in your relationships, that's more than likely like when it would, come out. That's what full moons are for. They're for getting something off your chest so it can be discussed. And then done away with instead of eating away at you. Little things at this time about a person, another person, okay, especially someone close to you that really just, it's like hearing nails across the chalkboard every time they do or say it or whatever. That little thing has become something huge, and this is the time to take care of that around that full moon. So don't be, too surprised if that's exactly what you do, especially if you're planning on planning on having some kind of conversation with someone. And the very same day, Venus moves into Leo in your 7th house. So both the full moon and Venus will be there at the same time. So whatever goes down around that time, you'll always have Venus there for the rest of the month to like smooth things over. Even if you forget what yourself in a way, you just say blurt something out that maybe you weren't planning on saying that may sound a little bit hurtful or whatever. You can always smooth it over the rest of the month. Okay, really not all that bad. Also, though, because the full moon is in your first house and you have Saturn transiting there right now, it could even be just something like feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders, feeling like you have way too much responsibility in the relationship. If this is a business relationship, a partnership that you have with someone, you're taking all the stress and all the bills and doing all the follow-up on whatever. And your partner is benefiting from, the cash or whatever, okay? You may feel this way. It may not necessarily be that way, but that's the way you feel it is, okay? So, and that's what's most important. So that's what you really have to get off your chest and discuss. If it's romantic, it's still the same thing. There's some kind of burden that you feel you're carrying in a close relationship. Okay, now when the sun moves into Virgo on the 22nd in your 8th house, okay, with Mercury starting off the month here though on the 4th, okay, in Virgo, in your 8th house up until the 25th. It's moving very, very fast. Okay, on the 25th, it moves into Libra and into your 9th house. Okay, like Mercury is the natural ruler of Virgo, so it does really well when it's there. Okay, so your 8th house where you have Virgo, and a new moon on top of that on the 27th. Okay, all of this is bringing like new beginnings in like 8th house is shared resources. It's also other people's resources and money, but it's also shared money or shared debt even, that you share with someone, shared property, whatever. So maybe that's what's up for discussion around that full moon. And by the time planets move into Virgo, the sun especially, into your 8th house, that's where your attention will turn. Okay. So you should have really gotten something cleared away there, as far as a partnership goes. If it's romantic, maybe you live with this person, or maybe you don't, but either way, there's money that you both are spending, even if it's just to have a good time or whatever, but if you do live together, there are household expenses and whatever, you may have had to have some kind of discussion about, or this is your spouse, your outright spouse, okay, about spending money. What are you gonna, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna save, or are you gonna spend? Okay, so or trying to figure out what to spend money on. There could be some kind of big thing that you need, for your home or for whatever. You have things going on within your home that are kind of up in the air, but I'll get to that in a minute. But anyway, so an unexpected expense possibly could come up, and you're, trying to figure out, should you, take out a loan? Should you charge it? It doesn't have to be a big expense, just anything. But having Mercury here, though, in your 8th house means that you could actually hear from some financial institution. The 8th house is the house of legacies and inheritances. It's banks, credit card companies, taxes of any kind, especially like the IRS, but it's passive money. It's money coming to you through means other than earning it. So it's money coming from a settlement of some kind, or an insurance payout, whatever. Maybe you're getting, in America, maybe you're getting your tax refund, income tax refund, something like that. So maybe that's what you're trying to figure out, what you're going to spend that on, or can you save it? So whatever. But there's a new beginning coming around that new moon on the 27th of how things are going to be handled in regards to jointly held property and money, bank accounts, and credit card accounts. Okay, now if you don't have, if it's just you don't have a partner that you have to deal with, all the better, right? So you're still going to make some kind of effort to get a hold of whatever is going on, let's say like in your finances. Not that there's anything bad going on there, it's just that as long as you have Saturn in your 1st house, you could have windfall after windfall, but you would still feel that you were lacking just because of that planet. That planet just makes you afraid to spend, afraid to have a good time, especially afraid to spend money on a good time. That's what it does, okay? The very serious side of life, and not like letting your hair down enough, So maybe you will have some money coming in that you are actually able to spend on yourself or your family, or doing something fun for once, okay? So Mercury moves into Libra, and your 9th house where you have Libra on the 25th. But we'll cover that a little bit more next month, because it's only here just those last few days of August. But your 9th house is the house of long distance romance and communications, and long distance travel, especially to foreign countries, or any kind of dealings with foreigners, period. But it's directly across from your third house of Aries, where Jupiter is transiting right now, and it's in retrograde motion, Jupiter. You could be planning possibly, or get some kind of communication to travel, suddenly travel, and maybe you're start making arrangements there at the end of August. Maybe you don't travel till September, but it wasn't something you were planning. But anyways, so let's see here. Okay, well, I did cover in your weekly forecast the Mars-Uranus conjunction in your fourth house, where you have the sign of Taurus. Okay, so I went into more detail there. So I'm not really going to get on there right now. So you might as well just go listen to your weekly forecast. Okay, it was a pretty big deal. But anyways, let's see here. Big thing for you, I think, though, is Mars is moving into Gemini on the 20th, and it's here this whole time, okay, up until March of next year, where you have Gemini in your chart is your fifth house of fun, okay, fun and romance, amusements of any kind, okay, entertainment of any kind, sports, this is gambling, speculation, children, hanging out with your children, or doing a lot more with them, or doing things pertaining to children or childish things, okay? Big romance house and creativity. Okay, so having Mars here, being a fellow air sign, it is trining, making a 120-degree angle to any planet that you have in Aquarius. Obviously, you have the sun, but rising sign, and maybe other planets or any other air sign, like Libra. If you have planets in Libra even. You're all getting a trine from this Mars, and what that's doing is kind of like lighting a fire under your ass in a way, and it's in a house that's fun, okay? Sports, though, I mean, if you're into sports, Mars is a very competitive planet, and you might be up for, like, actually taking part in something, even so much as like a dance contest, dance competition, okay? Or maybe your kids are involved in sports, or maybe you are a coach or something, or a teacher that you oversee, the football players, the cheerleaders, something or other. But you're going to be very, very active in this area, so it brings you an awful lot of energy. That's what Mars does, but it's physical energy though too. So at this time, you might want to do something for fun, like even riding a bike with friends, or walking, with a group of friends. Could be trail that you take, or hiking or something like that. And you're actually getting something physically out of it, though, okay? I do have to mention that Venus, before it moves into Leo on the 11th, is still in Cancer in your sixth house, up until like the 10th, okay? So your sixth house is the workplace and your co-workers and the kind of work that you do. So things there should be going pretty smoothly with your co-workers. When Venus is here, you guys usually get along like really, really well. If you're involved in anything creative as far as your job goes, when Venus is here, you're like really inspired. And in fact, you could be given a certain assignment, or if you're self-employed, you could get a new client that, they contact you because of word of mouth, of whatever it is that you do that is creative. It's really like Venus is really kind of like sending out rays or whatever on your behalf, and it's attracting people to you for the kind of work that you do, okay? So let me see. Now I will mention this though, okay, as far as your fourth house goes, and Uranus in Taurus, okay, in your fourth house does turn retrograde on the 24th. I'm sure I probably mentioned it in your weekly, okay, but when that happens, all of the outer planets, Jupiter through Pluto, are in retrograde motion. And all that means is whatever area in your chart that planet is transiting, it's the affairs of that house kind of like slow down a little bit. But in a way, what it does is it gives you the chance to change your mind, or review everything and see how everything's going in that area of your life. Okay, just thought I'd mention that. So the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Aquarius on the 10th, 11th, and 12th. And the best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Leo. And those dates are the 24th, 25th, and 26th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of speculation or gambling, and anything to do with children is the 6th, 7th, 8th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. The best time for money is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 27th, and 28th. The best time for your career is the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 31st. And the best time for communication and travel is the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 29th, 30th, and 31st. So I would really like to thank my subscribers for your continued support. Thank you so very much for liking, sharing, and commenting on my videos. It really helps to put like the video into circulation so other people can view it, and then it helps my channel to grow. So if you're new to my channel and you like this video, please subscribe. Okay, subscribe right now and click on the notification bell. You'll be notified each time I upload something. Okay, there's also links below in the description box. There's a link to something called Ask Me a Question, which is for those of you who are only interested in maybe one or two things about your chart. And there's also a link there to my website, okay, which is up and running and everything, but it's still getting some changes done to it. But you still can find out information there on like chart services and stuff, but it's actually whatever, just email me. There's a link to my email address. So anything that you wanted to know about your charts or whatever services I offer, just email me. Okay, check out my weekly forecast if you haven't already. Okay, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.